Hey everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. It's becoming a spooky end of the month, and with that, a not so spooky legendary hero. Legendary Faye seems like an odd choice to me. Though, on a side note, I show Faye what's to come by looking at her new exclusive A skill, and then showing her that the 3 Tikis that used to run Distant Counter have her exclusive A skill now too. But, back on topic, the battle itself was extremely easy and joins the plethora of first try clears. Her map was very straightforward, with the only thing of note that I can think of was that the right side enemies decided to start a war with Solitary Tiki. Faye just seems like an odd choice, as for what I can remember, she didn't have much importance per se in Fire Emblem 6 or her cameo in Fire Emblem 7. I just mainly remember her being forced on the final stage of Binding Blade, and that she was a really good backliner for staves. With that said, on the topic of Legendary Dragons, Legendary Tiki is getting her remix and refined soon. And truth be told, from what I've seen, I'm rather disappointed so far. Legendary Tiki's with everyone is gaining Savior, and is having a Spectrum buff for when it procs, and it's gaining a 2 space for the activation of the skill, where she gives the +6 defense and res. And she's also getting Slick Fighter, which is, if she's initiated upon, it negates her stats being debuffed. But that's the thing. Initiate Upon and Savior, those are more so defensive skills, and that's what I'm not liking per se. The great thing about Legendary Tiki was that she was basically a higher base stat Tiki Mystery. And the amazing thing about Tiki Mystery is that Tiki Mystery is a master of none, but a jack of all trades. Tiki Mystery, thanks to her stat spread being well-rounded, and the same applies to Legendary Tiki, you could basically throw them in about any situation, and they'd be a very potent and powerful unit in wherever you put them in. But now, it feels like they're having you lean more towards defensive play on Legendary Tiki, and I don't like that. I mean, yeah, if you want to keep the offensive setup, you could take off Slick Fighter and give her one of the fighter skills that is more offensive play, like whatever that one is called, where she's able to guarantee a double, and I think it boosts her special cooldown or something. But at the same time, this is a general thing for basically all the Tikis, but they've always had really low HP and low res. Or, some of them have lower res than others. Some forms of Tiki have respectable reses, but not something that you can really fully depend on not being debuffed or ployed out of. So, while her Savior skill can provide a Spectrum buff to Legendary Tiki, the ironic and funny thing about it is that if she gets debuffed, which isn't hard to do to a Tiki, then she's actually gaining negative stats and the main thing she's trying to boost, which is her defense and her res, because since the Spectrum buff is only +4, and she gets debuffed, she would have a -2 in those 2 stats. So, I guess I'm really hoping that her refine can bounce back my opinion of it, but I just don't like how it feels like they're pushing her towards defensive play. She has such an amazing stat spread, and in fact, look at Solitary Tiki, who only has the slightest tweaking to the stat spread, and Solitary Tiki is an extremely powerful and potent unit that can be thrown in about any situation. And Solitary Tiki has her own built-in extra movement, so Legendary Tiki will still have to be ferried around or have to use armored boots, which takes up the Silk, which you could give her a very good skill for. And I don't like that. I was really hoping they would push in a different direction. Or at least emphasize her jack of all trades nature, where she's just viable in everything. I guess outside of that, my biggest issue too is that Halloween Tiki isn't also getting an update. I mean, I know these remixes are meant to specifically help the legendary units, but when Halloween Tiki came out, with everyone just wasn't a good skill. It just really wasn't at the time. And her Halloween Tiki's weapon takes the effects of with everyone to help her. But again, Halloween Tiki suffers the same thing as every other Tiki. Low HP and low res, so she's so easy to debuff and basically neutralize that effect. So this update just kind of hurts two Tikis in one go, in my opinion. It makes Legendary Tiki less versatile, and it does nothing for Halloween Tiki, who's fully dependent on a very outdated skill. But I guess outside my little ramblings about that entire situation, which I could go on much further, but I'm running out of time, that's pretty much all I have. I hope you all have a good day or night, and happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates it.